Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to Adventures in Metaphysics. And we've got another week of decks. And this is an exciting week because on Tuesday? Either tomorrow or Tuesday is Litha, which is midsummer, the summer solstice, however the heck you want to look at it. Very exciting. I've never really fully celebrated before, so this will be my first year doing so. So the decks I picked out for this week, I wanted to really theme around that, and I'm very excited about it. But before we get into that, we have to talk about my decks from last week. We're gonna start with the Oracle decks. This week was a good week for decks. I really don't have complaints. To start with, I worked with the Wisdom of the Kalyak, which is just another gorgeous deck. It reminds me a little bit of the Old Ways Magic Oracle. Not so much so that I think, you know, they offer something very different. But I just mean like, are we focused? Come on. I think we are. We're still figuring this out. More so in a way where they work really well together with just the subject matter they cover. Oh my gosh. The cards are large. Maybe that's my only complaint of the week, is it's a little bit harder to work with because the cards are so large, but I mean the artwork is so beautiful. There we go. And I really enjoy the keywords. I need to get my face out of this, that's why it's not focusing. Okay. Pro of large cards. I guess it covers my face so we can stay focused. Okay, there we go. I really enjoyed the keywords with this deck, and the artwork just works so well with both of the tarots I picked. The messages are just so great. I didn't get a chance like I wanted to this week though to learn more about Kalyak herself. I'm just not super familiar with her. I think the book goes into it a little bit, but I really wanted to just really learn more. I didn't get a chance to do that, but I know this deck is gonna be back again soon. I really enjoyed my time with it. I'm hoping to do a week where I bring out this and the Old Ways Magic Oracle together, because I did do a reading using the both of them. It was just so good. Takes up a lot of space, but it was good. So that is the Wisdom of the Kalyak. And the other oracle was the Home Oracle. And I probably used this one a little bit less over Wisdom of the Kalyak, but this is an oracle deck. This is not a new to me one. And I've just known, I know that I love this one. I don't use it a ton, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we gotta get my face out again. Okay. But it's one that you really want to kind of sit with the artwork and the keyword, because it just gives something so different. And I think sometimes that's why I don't tend to use it for my daily polls, because again, it's just, I really want to sit with this artwork. It provides just, you know, the keywords aren't anything necessarily crazy different, you know, than maybe other ones you've seen in oracle decks, but the way it gets interpreted in the art that's kind of the special thing about this deck. It's also just, I mean, it's so beautiful. Like, this one is healing, and we've got this figure that has an apple as a head, and it's just fascinating. Because, you know, when you think of apples, they are a big symbol for kind of like that fertility nurturing aspect of us. So the fact that the figure's head is an apple I think is so interesting, and you can see that they're piecing together something that's broken. I think it's just, it's so good. And Release, being surrounded by all of this water. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I really enjoyed using this one. It makes me definitely want to bring this out a lot more than I have. I just love looking at these pictures. So that was the Home Oracle. I'll show the box actually, so you can see kind of how it's written. There's like a period between each letter. Maybe see better. Oh, here you go. So that's kind of how it's written there. And I loved using this one. I really enjoy using this one in client readings. This one seems to come out a lot for those. If you're interested in checking any of those out, I always have links down below on where you can book readings with me and what kind of readings I offer. It's just right on my Etsy shop where I sell my crochet tarot bags. It's all right in one spot to make it easy. Okay, so those were the oracles I used last week. And now we're gonna get into the tarot. We're gonna start with the this is the Tree Spirit Tarot. Not in its permanent bag. I got a Peggy bag from Lisa Papez's wife. She sells tarot bags on Etsy under Sparks Creation. And I have a really fun leaf bag coming from her for this deck. I'm super excited about it. But I have to say, this one didn't fully get its time to shine. Because the other tarot I used, I just fell head over heels for, and I didn't want to put it down. So while I really am interested in this one, I really enjoy, and I did use it, and I enjoyed my time with it. It didn't fully get its time in the sun, so this is one that's going to be back out again soon because I just feel like I'm leaving this week without too much of an impression of it still. But the guidebook is so awesome. The guidebook you can get right on Amazon. My only gripe probably is that, so this is the Tree Spirit Tarot, did I say that? It's print on demand. And you can find it through the artist's website. So, the print on demand usually isn't the cheapest. So I did that and then realized that the guidebook is sold separately on Amazon. So it ended up kind of, I'd already ordered this and I was like, well, I'm gonna want the guidebook, and I'm not typically bothered by a full-size guidebook being sold separately. It just, and it's kind of my own fault for just not realizing that beforehand, but I guess it turned into a little bit more of a cost than I was expecting. Especially for a deck where it didn't come with, so I think my thing with selling full-size guidebooks separately is that most of the decks I've seen do that offer some sort of little white book with it so that you have something to work with if you don't want to buy a separate book. Now, print on demand, they just don't do that. But I do wish maybe that the artist would have offered, I don't know, like a PDF version or something like that to go with the deck, because this is one, unless you are super knowledgeable on trees, really know everything, or not everything, but you know a lot about these trees that are shown, there's just no way to get the full experience out of this deck without having the book that goes into all of the details about these trees, why they were chosen for a certain card. It's an awesome guidebook. So, in that sense, I don't have a complaint because it's been really cool working with it. I guess that's just my one. My one hot take on it is that, it wasn't a cheap book. That's what I'll say. And it was really, it's one that you kind of need it to work with this deck. So it just turned into, more than I thought it would be. But other than that, I've really enjoyed my time with this. And the guidebook is 110% worth it. It's a beautiful book. I'm gonna have to bring this one out again soon though, because the next deck I'm gonna show stole the show this week, and it made me, I suppose, not sad, but I am really excited about this deck. I am, and it's gonna have its time in the sun very soon. Honestly, maybe even next week I'll bring it out again. Not this coming week, but the one after. Yeah, I really, really enjoy how this read and getting to work with that tree energy. just, I had one of those experiences with this next deck that I didn't want to put it down. Where I would be like, okay, I really should use this other tarot deck I picked out because I want to spend time with that too, but like, I need to use this deck, you know, like I really need to. And that is the Crimson Asteria Tarot that, as I mentioned last week, I was able to get the second copy that Allie from Toe Tarot happened to have because she kind of was like, you need to have this. Like, I just think you're really gonna like it. You should try it out kind of thing. And I was a little unsure, but I was interested in the art style and she was so right. Thank you so much to Allie because like as soon as I use this for the first time, it's like I'm hooked. Like I didn't even want to put it down. I was gonna use it a second week in a row, but I was like, okay, I've got these other decks I really want to use too. Like we can put this down, but now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. I just love this one. I love this one so much. It's weird and wacky, but reads so amazingly well for me. And I love the extra cards, like the kind of extra oracle cards that get added onto the major arcana are fantastic. It comes with this little, you know, just like a little guidebook that fits in the box, but it's amazing. I have to read, you know, I'm gonna read the entry for the wisdom card because I pulled that twice this week and it just like, it blew me away. How can you unlock all doors with only one key? Stepping outside of the inherited belief systems that you were given in this world can only give you many other aspects of understanding and being. This will greatly enhance your inner knowledge and expand your understanding of experiences on this plane of existence. Earth is very much a realm, not a planet. True wisdom is combining your knowledge, experience, and intuition when moving forward with decisions. When you are wise, you will not seek as much validation and outward knowledge. The answers are already there within you. Like, how amazing is that? That it was that last sentence of, when you are wise, you will not seek as much validation and outward knowledge. Like, it just was the things I needed to hear this week of like, you don't need other people to tell you you're doing a good job. Like, it's okay if you just believe that, you know? So good. It just is so good. And honestly, this one would work really well for Litha, I don't know how you say it, too. Oh my gosh, I feel like I want to make a last minute switch, but I'm not going to. I might. I just love this deck. I love it so much. I might. Okay, I'm gonna show the two, I'm gonna show my decks for next week, but I really want to honestly keep using this because I loved it that much. And that's saying a lot because typically, like, I need to switch decks. Like, I really need to. And I don't want to put this one, away. I don't. I think we're gonna use it again. I know exactly which one I'm gonna switch. Anyway, let me show you what I have for this week. Okay, we're gonna start with the oracles because they're not in danger. The first oracle I want to work with is the Oracle of Echoes. I think this just gives off such fun, shadowy, fiery energy. So that's my goal for this week. Since Litha is very much about the sun and summer and that fire energy, I wanted to pick fiery decks. But also, it's a really big holiday for working with the Fae, which, as you all know, is a big thing for me. And so I also kind of wanted to lean into that. So this really, I think, gets into that fiery energy, at least how I see it. And I love the artwork. I love the keywords. I don't actually have the guidebook. I did not know there was a guidebook. This one is one that Andy traded with me to try because she kind of just thought I would like it, and she was so right because I love it. I love this deck. I didn't know there was a guidebook, so I might have to look for that. But honestly, just using the keywords works. They're such kind of intuitive, straightforward keywords. I don't think you really need a guidebook. But anyhow, I'm really excited to bring this one out. I think it's going to go super well with one of the tarot decks. Actually, the tarot deck that you all chose for me. And yeah, I just think it just seems to fit with this holiday so well. I'm super excited about it. So that is the Oracle of Echoes. This is the second edition. I don't honestly know what the difference is between the first and second because, again, this is not really one I've looked into on my own, but I'm happy I have it. Second Oracle deck. We're getting into that fairy energy and we're bringing back the Fairy Forest Oracle. Now I know when I used it last time I kind of wasn't thrilled, but I couldn't give it up. I just couldn't. Something about it is so beautiful, and I think with the thing that I was doing was trying to force myself to only have one fairy oracle deck. I think that was really a goal in my brain, so I was comparing it to my my Brian Froud Fairies Oracle, which I just don't really think they can fully be compared other than subject matter. And also, it's okay for me to have, you know, two fairy oracle decks because I really like working with that energy. And what I realized is that the Brian Froud Fairies Oracle is one I very much use in my spiritual practice, and that's where it feels like it's gonna stay, at least for now. So I'm not gonna really use it for my morning pulls. Oh my gosh, I keep kicking the table that I've got the camera on. Apologies. I'm probably not gonna use it in that way because I pull it every day as part of my other practice. So I was like, well, maybe this one will be my one for daily pulls, and I love the artwork, I really do. It's so beautiful. Look at that unicorn. So we're bringing it out again this week because I really just want to give it another chance. Oh, I love that card. And I'm really excited about it. It's funny, like, as soon as I put it down and like kind of gave it the thought of putting it in my little timeout bin, then it started to excite me. It was the weirdest thing. I was just kind of like, I don't think I'm not ready to give up on this one yet. I think I could really, really enjoy it. So I'm excited to kind of go into it this week, not looking to compare it to other decks, but just enjoy it for what it is. I think that's maybe what I did to it last time, which doesn't seem super fair. So that is the second oracle for the week. The first tarot is, I put a poll up on the community tab, and which isn't something I do every week, but keep an eye out because a lot of the times I need help picking and I like to just kind of hear what you all want to see. So I put a poll up and you all voted to have me use the Bonefire Tarot this week, which I'm really excited about. It's funny because I put that as a choice, not even really realizing that the holiday was this week. And so it's just funny that this is the one that I got chosen. I feel like you all just knew that this time of year it's going to be good to use this deck. So I'm really excited because this is it's called the Bonefire Tarot. It's very fiery energy. I've not gotten to use this one a ton yet, and it's one I'm really excited about. I think this is going to be perfect for this week, and the guidebook is so amazing. It's like everything in these pictures, it seems like it's really busy, and it is, but nothing is in these pictures that isn't purposeful. And I think that's what excites me about this deck, is everything is put in here with such intention, and the guidebook tells you so. So I'm really excited to get into this deck this week, and this is the one that you all chose, you wanted to see, which is really fun. I like doing that. It might be something that I put up every week, we'll see, but this is the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Ingus West. I've never tried one of her decks before, but I'm really excited to have this one. I got this one secondhand, and it's got the glossy cardstock, but you can tell it was just so pre-loved because of how it shuffles so easily. It doesn't stick together even slightly, so you could just tell how much it's been shuffled, which I really like. I kind of like getting things that feel pre-loved in that way. So that is the Bonefire Tarot. Now, the next tarot that I picked out. I picked this one out myself. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel excited when I picked it out in the first place. So why did I pick it? I don't know. Felt like I should. I don't know. Anyway, okay. It is the Tarot of the She. I've started to have some mixed feelings on this one, and I don't know why. I don't know why. But this one I selected because, you know, again, working with that fairy energy, and of my decks, this one feels the most kind of like fiery fairy energy. And I trimmed this deck since the last time I brought it out. But I don't think this is what I want to use this week. I don't think it is, and I think partially it reminds me a lot of the Bonefire Tarot. And again, just as I've been furthering my practice with the fairies, this one doesn't totally feel right. I still want to give it another chance. I do. I don't want to just kind of give up on it just yet, because I do really enjoy the artwork. I like the guidebook, but I don't know if this is the one for me. I've just been so enjoying my Hush Tarot and my Victorian Fairy Tarot, and I have another fairy tarot that I recently got that just feels more in line with my practice with them. But I don't feel excited to use this week, so we're not going to. Wow, this went in a different direction than I thought it would. Ha! And you were all here to witness that. That is my live reaction. Well, live to me. So, the second tarot deck we're using is the Crimson Asteria. Why make myself use something else when I want to use this? You know, life's too short. I guess I needed to make that kind of dramatic, but ooh, I'm excited. I think this is a really good juxtaposition to the Bonefire too, since it's like that white space instead of the black borders and pared down imagery. Oh, I think this is gonna be so fun. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm excited. Yay! And, you know, I brought in the fairy energy with the oracle, so I've got that. And, you know, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm going to do a lot with my fairies this week. I do every day. So I don't need to have a fairy deck in my daily polls, you know? Like, I'm going to do work outside of my daily polls for the fairies, so we're using the Crimson Asteria again. Yeah! Exciting! Okay, so we'll recap, because that was a wild ride I took you all on. This week we are using the Oracle of Echoes, the Fairy Forest Oracle, the Bonefire Tarot, and Crimson Asteria. Very excited! Yes! Okay, I'm excited by all these. So, I hope you all have a wonderful beginning to your week, and let me know down below what decks you've been using, or if you're picking decks for the week too. I'd love to hear what you're using, or just what you've been liking recently, as always. So, have a wonderful start to your week, and I will see you all again soon.